I am going to go ahead and show you some of the principles now that I think will really help you understand how I see things. And, you know, I realize that we have maybe a straight line, but it represents, maybe the dip here and the dip here, or the, whatever I want to line it up with, and then see if I can maybe line it up with something else. So that kind of helped me determine what I was going to be lining up there. I can see that this is bowed out of here, but it's bowed maybe from this point to this point. So I can take that, you see I have this line down here, and I can take this now and get a general idea of how that hat bows up. Now there's one more thing about this that I want to point out, because just because we see an arc here doesn't make it symmetrical. We want to make sure that we're paying attention, because sometimes we may have something like this where we have these two markers here, and maybe it's lobed to one side. Maybe it isn't completely, oh, I just did that out of the camera. Maybe it isn't completely symmetrical within those. You see how I have it higher over here on the left side than I do on the right. And I want you to watch for those. But that's great, because when you put a straight edge line up there, or your straight edge ruler without ever drawing a line, you can start seeing those things more clearly. I think this is pretty symmetrical. The center is right about in here, and it comes up right about where this cross is, and maybe goes just a little lower over here. It just goes below that intersection. So again, I'm doing these darker than I would. I would want to make sure that I'm doing it with my light pencils as I'm feeling my way along and making sure that I can make my alterations. And so now this is going to come down here maybe about halfway between this space. This is just like the grid. Where we start assessing where it intersects a line. Let's just come up here now. Now that we have this, let's just get something in here, and then we can go ahead and start making our alterations. This isn't all the way up to that. There's a little bit of a corner cut off. I don't know exactly why I don't have a line here, but anyway, I think it's probably that I have a I think I'm lining up this, and then I see this arcing up out of it. Whatever you do, you're going to be able to see pretty clearly, what you're doing if you're paying attention to how it compares to that straight line. And the more I get in here and complete some of these things, or just start sketching them in, because I'm going to be able to make, again, all the changes I want to make. I'm going to be able to have more and more things that line up with my features. You could take this approach. You don't necessarily have to take this one. You can go ahead and draw, again, the shape that you see. It isn't necessarily going to be the same one I'm going to see.